My name is Rutuja Devanand Pawar. I am student of BSc first year, and today I am going to discuss about motion of charged particle in electric and magnetic field. So first point is electric field as an accelerating field. An electric field is a region where an electric charge experiences a force. When a charged particle of charge q enter in an electric field, it experiences a force whose magnitude is F is equal to q into E. With this force, a particle will accelerate in an electric field. Positively charged particle will accelerate in the direction of electric field, while negatively charged particle will accelerate in the opposite direction of electric field. Next point आहे energy gained by the particle in an uniform electric field. The electric potential at any point is the work done in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to that point against the electric field. We know that it is denoted by V. The potential difference between the 2 points is equal to work done in moving a unit positive charge from one point to another point. When a charged particle of charge q moves through an uniform electric field having electric potential difference V, then the charged particle gain an energy q into V. And next point is motion of a charged particle in a transfer of electric field. Let a particle of mass m and magnitude of charge q is moving along x-axis with constant velocity v. Let the particle is negative charge and the electric field is directed downward. Since the upper plate is positive and lower plate is negative, that is charged particle is moving through constant transfer electric field. The constant electrostatic force of magnitude q into E act upward on the negatively charged particle, so it accelerates, and applying Newton's second law of motion, we know that F is equal to ma. This is Newton's second law of motion. For a component along the y-axis, we get F is equal to m into ay. आणि आपण पाहिलं की इलेक्ट्रिक फील्डमध्ये जर कोणताही चार्ज पार्टिकल फिरत असेल, मूव्ह होत असेल, तर त्यामध्ये फोर्स लागतो आणि त्याचा मॅग्निट्यूड असतो क्यू इंटू ई. म्हणजे क्यू इंटू ई इज इक्वल टू एम इंटू ए वाय. देन ए वाय इज इक्वल टू क्यू इंटू ई डिवाइडेड बाय एम. दिस इज आवर फर्स्ट इक्वेशन. And let the t be the time required for the charged particle to pass through the region between the plates during time t. The horizontal displacement of the particle is L is equal to x is equal to Vx into t. This is our second equation. And vertical displacement of particle is y is equal to 1 by 2 ay into t square. This is our third equation. Using s is equal to ut plus 1 by 2 at square, and for vertical motion initial velocity u is equal to 0. Eliminating t from these two equation, first equation we get t square is equal to x square by vx square, and second equation t square is equal to 2y divided by a square. And then from equation first and second we get x square by vx square is equal to 2y divided by ay, and then y is equal to ay into x square divided by 2y vx square. Putting the value of ay in this equation, we get y is equal to q into ex square divided by 2mvx square, and then y is equal to q into e divided by 2mvx square whole square. X square is equal to x square. And this is the equation of parabola. In this diagram we can see that की इथं आपण पाहू शकतो इथे की ओ पासून तर ए पर्यंत इलेक्ट्रिक फील्डमध्ये पॅराबोलिक पाथ शो करत आहे. And hence an electron describe a parabolic path in the region of transfer electric field. The beam describe a part OA as a पॅराबोला आपण जसं पाहिलं. व्हेन द particle emerge from the electric field, it travel along the straight line AC tangential to the parabola at the exit point A.
Good morning, all of you. My name is Nikita Ingole. Today, my topic is motion of a charged particle in a transfer magnetic field. Consider a magnetic field having uniform magnetic flux density B, acting perpendicular and into the plane of the paper. Consider a beam of a positively charged particle moving with a uniform velocity v through a magnetic field in x direction, horizontal direction. As soon as the charged particle recharge at O point, magnetic force acting on it. If m be the mass and q be the charge on particle, then magnitude of magnetic force on the particle will be F is equals to B into QV. तर डायग्राम तुम्ही हे पाहू शकता. The direction of this force is given by Feynman left hand rule, which is perpendicular to the plane of the V and B. Since this force always perpendicular to the direction of V, only direction of V charge with the speed remain same. So particle move in a circular manner, gives a circular path of radius r in a magnetic field. Constant of a magnetic force always the radius of the circular path provide the necessary for centripetal acceleration v square upon r to move the charged particle in a circular path of radius r. F is equals to mv square upon r. B into qv is equals to mv square upon r. R is equals to mv upon bq. So when charged particle enter in a direction of perpendicular to the magnetic field.
Hello friend, my name is Drupata Chauhan. My topic name is electron gun. Define the electron gun. A device for producing a narrow stream of electron from a heated cathode. Construction of electron gun. The electron gun consists of oxide coated cathode K, which is indirectly heated by tungsten filament. The cathode produces a beam of electron which is surrounded by a cylindrical control grid G, and two anodes A1 and A2 are kept beyond the grid. The function of the grid is to control the intensity of the electron beam and to focus it is into a narrow beam. Two metal cylinders with central aperture are located which act as anode. They are maintained at high positive potential with respect to the cathode. The anode impart acceleration to electron. This whole assembly is kept in an evacuated chamber. Working of the electron gun. When power is on, the filament heat up the cathode and electrons are emitted from cathode and they pass through the control grid. The grid is kept at negative potential with respect to the cathode and control the number of electrons passing through it. The cathode, the grid and the first anode A1 constitute of the first electron lens. The stream. This lens is known as the prefocusing lens. The anode A1 and A2 from the second electron lens system which draw electron from the crossover point and bring them to a fine focus. The focus point is controlled by adjusting the potential of anode A1
And my topic name is discharge tube. A discharge tube is a cylindrical glass tube in which two electrodes are fitted at the two ends, and experimental gas can be filled in it to study the conduction of electricity through gases by changing the pressure of gas. Then construction. A cylindrical glass tube about 25 to 30 centimeter long and 2 to 3 centimeter in diameter. Two plain aluminum electrode, cathode and anode, are fitted in it as shown in figure. This glass tube is provided with a side tube which is used for a maintain a desired pressure inside the cylindrical tube with the help of vacuum pump through a stop clock. A high tension supply is connected between the electrode, anode and cathode. With the help of induction coil, required unidirectional high potential difference is produced. This potential difference is applied between cathode and anode and observe the conduction of electricity through the gas enclosed in cylindrical tube at various pressure. At low pressure, white spark with cracking noise are observed in the tube. When pressure of gas is reduced up to 10 mm of mercury, the zigzag appear. When pressure reduced up to 4 mm of mercury, a thick, long colored column of light is observed. When pressure reduced up to 3 mm of mercury, the long colored column of light is separated from the cathode by dark space in the region of cathode. At the pressure of 1 mm of mercury, cathode glow appears at cathode. At pressure 0.5 mm of mercury, number of luminous disks called tractions are observed. As the pressure reduces still further, the wall of the discharge tube opposite to cathode begins to glow with a greenish fluorescence.
Hello everyone, myself Poonam Haribhav Ingole. I am student BSc first. Today I will discuss about velocity of selector. First of all, velocity of selector define. A wind filter, also known as a velocity of selector, is a derived consisting of perpendicular electric and magnetic field. Then use velocity of filter for charged particle. And then example, electron microscope and spectrometer. A velocity selector is a region of transfer perpendicular electric and magnetic field, such that when a beam of charged particle enter this region perpendicular to both E and B, only those charged particles enter this region perpendicular to both E and B. Only those charged particles can pass undeflected, whose velocity is equal to E divided by B. Then next working. S1, S2, S3 are the slide. P1 and P2 are the positively and negatively charged plate respectively. अपवर्ड डायरेक्शनला पॉझिटिव्ह चार्ज आहे आणि डाऊनवर्ड डायरेक्शनला निगेटिव्ह चार्ज दाखवलेला आहे. देन ॲपरेटस इज द इन्क्लोज इन अँड इव्हॉल्युलेट चेंबर. हर इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इज अप्लाय वर्टिकली डाऊनवर्ड डायरेक्शन. म्हणजे कोणतीही इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड असली ते अप्लाय करते म्हणते वर्टिकली डाऊनवर्ड डायरेक्शन. डाऊनवर्ड डायरेक्शन म्हणजे क्यू ई म्हणजे P2. Then therefore electric force acting on positive Q will be in vertically downward direction of magnitude Q into E. F equal to Q into E, charge into electric field in a downward direction. Magnetic field B is applied perpendicular to bar E and into the plane of the paper. Therefore, by Fleming left hand rule काय सांगतो? The simple and accurate way to find the direction of force motion of the conductor in an electric motor when the magnetic field direction and the current direction are known as the Fleming left hand rule. Magnetic force acting on positive Q will be in a vertically upward direction of magnitude. Then Fb equal to Q velocity of B in upward direction. Fe equal to Q into ही डाउनवर्ड डायरेक्शन होते आणि Fv इक्वल टू Q वेलोसिटी B ही अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन आहे. पण then when both the force Fe and Fb are equal and opposite, then particle can pass undeflected. हे Fe and Fb हे अपोजिट डायरेक्शनमध्ये आहे म्हणते पार्टिकलच्या. दॅट इज Qe इक्वल टू Q velocity B. Q get cancel, V equal to E divided by B. Thus all the charged particle energy, those S3 have a selected velocity which is equal to E divided by V and are undeflected. So the region between S2 and S3 is known as the velocity selector. Then explain expression V equal to E divided by V of velocity of selector.
Myself Kajal Gavai. My topic is mass spectrograph. Mass spectrograph is an instrument in which different isotopes are separated from a stream positive ion. In this device, particles are separated according to their masses, so it is known as a mass spectrograph. Bainbridge mass spectrogram. During the year in 1930, Bainbridge designed a mass spectrograph on the model of Dempster apparatus. In 1933, he modified his instrument using velocity selector. This mass spectrograph is known as a Bainbridge mass spectrograph. In the diagram of velocity selector is shown in figure. It is consists of velocity selector and analyzing chamber. We discuss the principle. Velocity selector select the particle having same velocity. When this ion enter in the analyzing chamber where transverse magnetic field is applied, so they describe semicircular path and strike the photographic plate. या फिगरमध्ये दिसते आपल्याला की पॉझिटिव्ह आयन आहे स्लिट S1 आणि S2 मधून म्हणजे व्हेलॉसिटी सिलेक्टरमधून ॲनालायझिंग चेंबरमध्ये एंटर करतात. ॲनालायझिंग चेंबरमध्ये ट्रान्सवर्स मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड अप्लाय होते. सेमी सर्क्युलर पाथनं डिस्क्राईब फोटोग्राफिक प्लेटकडे स्ट्राईक होतात. सो वर्किंग अ बीम ऑफ पॉझिटिव्हली चार्ज पार्टिकल from discharge tube having different masses pass from the slit S1 and S2. Then it enters the velocity selector. In the velocity selector, a uniform transverse electric field E is applied and a uniform magnetic field B is applied perpendicular to E and into the plane of paper. In velocity selector, the beam of positively charged particles move with velocity V and is undeflected. So the velocity of charged particle is V is equal to E by V, where E is equal to transverse electric field and B is equal to magnetic field. The charged particle enter the analyzing chamber with this velocity V through slit S3. A uniform magnetic field B dash is applied to the analyzing chamber whose direction is into the plane of paper. So charged particle describe a semicircular path of radius r and strike the photographic plate at a distance x from the slit S3. In the analyzing chamber, magnetic force is equal to transverse centripetal force. Magnetic force is equal to B dash into QV and centripetal force is equal to mv square upon r. So magnetic force is equal to centripetal force, that is B dash Q into V is equal to mv square upon r. So r is equal to mv upon B dash into Q, where Q is the magnitude of charge and m is the mass of particle. Put the value of V in upper equation. V is equal to E by B. R is equal to m upon B dash into Q, and which value है E upon B. R is equal to m into E upon B dash into B into Q. So E upon B dash into B into Q into m. So the value E upon B dash B into Q is term constant. So R is equal to K into m. So R is directly proportional to m. Since the radii of circular path are proportional to the masses of the ion, the mass scale is linear. The charged particle of mass m produce a spot on photographic plate at a distance x from the slit S3. So x is equal to twice r, and value of r is equal to twice k into m. So value of k is equal to E upon B dash into B into Q into m. So x is equal to twice E upon B dash B Q into m. Particle having the same charge but different masses produce different spot on a photographic plate. Heavier particle will trace large circle in comparison with lighter particle. It means particles are separated according to their distance. So this device is known as a mass spectrograph. Thank you.
My name is Achal Ananta Kamble. I am a student of BSc first year. I am going to discuss about cyclotron. A cyclotron is a particle accelerator. It uses a magnetic field to hold a charged particle to move in a circular orbit of increasing radius. An accelerating potential across the gap between the Ds may act on the particle repeatedly, due to which the particle acquire high energy. Its principle: first is when a charged particle of mass m and charge q move with velocity v in a transverse uniform magnetic field B, it describes a circle of radius r. The radius is given by r is equal to mv upon qb. Second one is a charged particle passes between two Ds having different electrical polarities, so particle get accelerated between the Ds and gains energy every time as they cross the gap between the Ds. Third is the time t taken by the particle to describe a semicircular path in the D must be equal to the half the time period t of applied AC voltage. T is equal to capital T by 2. Its construction: you can see in this diagram, it consists of two hollow D-shaped copper chamber open on their straight edges. These chambers are called as Ds. Inside the Ds there is no electric field. The Ds are placed in a strong uniform magnetic field. The direction of the magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane of the Ds. Its working: let a positive ion of a mass m and charge q be produced by a source S at the center of the cyclotron. High frequency AC voltage is applied between the Ds. Let at the particular instant the D1 is at negative potential with respect to D2. So the positive ion at S moves toward D1. It will accelerate toward D1, gains energy qv and enter in D1 with velocity v1. Then v1 is equal to under root twice qv upon m. Inside the D there is no electric field. A uniform magnetic field is applied perpendicular to the plane of the Ds. So ion moves in a circular path whose radius depend on its speed. In the D1 it describes a semicircular path in time t by 2. The radius of the semicircular path in D1 will be R1 is equal to m v1 upon qb. At the time t by 2, the ion is just ready to enter into the gap between D1 and D2, The polarities of d1 and d2 are reversed. Now d2 will be the negative potential. Thus, ion which enter into the gap is further accelerated toward d2 and gains additional energy qv and passes velocity v2. v2 is greater than v1. That is, v2 is equal to under root 2 into 2 qv upon m. Inside d2, positive ion describe a semicircular path of longer radius r2 with higher constant speed in the same time t by 2. The radius of the semicircular path in d2 will be r2 is equal to mv2 upon qb. When a positive ion is just ready to enter into the gap between d2 and d1, the polarities of d2 and d1 are reversed. So the positive ion again face a negative charges d. So it will again accelerate. This process continue and ion describe a spiral path in cyclotron. At each time, positive particle will accelerate into the gap and gains additional kinetic energy in equal step of qv each time. When particle reaches in the outermost circular path, it acquires maximum kinetic energy and is then removed by deflecting plate kept at very high negative voltage. Next point is maximum energy acquired by an ion. Kinetic energy will be the maximum for outermost semicircular path, that is, when the radius of the semicircular path is maximum, Emax is equal to half of m square. Then we know that the value of v square, value of v, qb are max upon m. Then put the value of v in this equation. Emax is equal to 1 by 2 m into qb r max upon m bracket square. Then Emax is equal to q square b square r max square upon twice m. Last topic is limitations of cyclotron. The energy to which the particle can be accelerated by the cyclotron is limited due to change in a mass with velocity. The mass of the particle when moving with velocity v comparable to the velocity of light is given by m is equal to m0 upon under root 1 minus v square upon c square, where m0 is the rest mass of the particle and c is the velocity of light. The time taken by particle to travel a semicircular path is t is equal to pi upon omega. Then pi is pi r upon v. Pi upon v into mv upon qb. Then t is equal to pi m upon qb. This must be equal to t by 2. That is pi m upon qb is equal to t by 2. Then t is equal to 2 pi m upon qb. Then frequency is equal to 1 by t. Then frequency is equal to qb upon 2 pi m. Frequency is equal to qb under root 1 minus v square upon c square upon twice pi m0. Hence, the frequency of rotation of the charged particle decreases as the velocity increases. So, it takes more time to complete its semicircular path, and the particle continuously goes on lagging behind the applied alternating voltage till a stage is reached when it can no longer be accelerated further. So, it's all about cyclotron. Thank you.